Aren't you kind of fat for a stormtrooper?
Why, yes. Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cavalry. Today is going to be the day that you guys actually get to see what is in that mystery room. Yesterday on both Facebook and Instagram, I posted a picture of the door, and I asked you guys what you thought was in that room. You guys all, not all of you, but a good portion of you gave some answers, and some of them were good, some of them were, I don't know, whatever. But was one of you guys right? One or more of you right? I don't know. We'll see in a little bit. But first, what I got to do, I have to go outside. That hibiscus plant that I told you about in other videos, the one that's in a pot that cannot be outside when it's super cold. It is getting super cold outside. Well, not super cold. It's getting colder. It's obviously fall, and it's getting cold. As you can see, it is 51 degrees outside right now. It was in the 40s last night. So it's getting close to freezing temperatures. So I need to go out there and I actually have to transplant the plant into another pot. When we had the pot sitting in the dirt outside with the rest of the garden, evidently a colony of ants came up through the bottom, through the hole, the drain hole, through the bottom, and decided to build a nest inside the pot. We also have squirrels digging into the pot, and I'll show you the holes that they've been digging, and I don't know what they're after. A hibiscus plant is not a bulb type plant, and normally squirrels will dig up bulbs like a tulip bulb and things like that and eat those bulbs. A hibiscus is not a tubular, it is not a bulbed plant. It's not a tubular plant either. There is such a thing. But it is not a bulbed plant. So I don't know what they're digging for. Or maybe they're trying to hide food for the winter. I have no idea. But right now I'm going to go outside and do the transplanting and bring that plant in. That way it doesn't freeze and die. As you guys can see, they've been doing some serious digging on both sides, and I don't know what they're digging for, but I gotta transplant it. Obviously, you see we have some growth, but we also have some buds on here, which means this thing is going to flower pretty soon. If I don't get it in the house, then everything's going to die. So I'm going to plant that real quick, and then we'll go in and I'll do the mystery room reveal. Julie's gonna kind of kill me. I got dirt all over the porch here. what I think I'll do is I'm going to put it in the sun over here, over there. I'm going to put it so that we got a tray. I'm going to try to point to you. Tray that we're going to put underneath it once it's inside. I'm going to put that on the ground over here, and the hibiscus likes a lot of sunlight, and unfortunately we don't have a lot of sunlight coming into the house except for the bedroom during the day, which is when I'm sleeping. So I'm not quite sure where we're going to put this when we get it inside, but for the time being I'm going to, because I just watered it and I don't want the water to get all over everything, I'm going to put it out here so that it can get some sun, let that water drain down into the pot a little bit and out. There is like I said, well, that pot over there has a drain hole. This one does too. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we can go inside. I put it right there, and obviously it's not in the sun right now, but when the sun comes up later in the afternoon, the sun's like right there. As soon as the sun comes up later in the afternoon, this whole area will be nothing but sunlight. So it's going to get some sun. I gave it some water, and hopefully with that tray I put underneath it, it won't collect any more ants, because that's kind of where it was when it got the ant infestation in the first place. So that part is done, and now what you guys have all been waiting on and wondering, what is in the mystery room. All right, everyone, are you ready? You ready to see what that is? Let's see if can you guys hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. That should give you a clue what's in this room. And here we go. This is my office / Star Wars room. Got a Darth Vader pinata. This up here is actually a case that they made. Oh, I don't know if it was the 80s. Yeah, I think it was, no, maybe it was the 70s. That holds action figures. There's all kinds of little compartments in there that you can put all your little action figures that you collected as a kid in there. It's empty right now. My action figures are in a tote in the storage unit. But we got some Naboo fighter and some vulture droids. There's a representation of every movie and TV series that came out in this room. Episode 1 stuff, all these cups here. There's also, which are kind of rare, it's not very often you see these. These came out in the 70s. These were Burger King cups that you could buy with your meals. And then later on they came out with the Empire Strikes Back ones, and then Return of the Jedi. But these bigger ones, these all came from like KFC, Burger King, and some other places. And then I didn't buy everything in here. I mean, there's some things that I did buy, obviously, but other things that they were given to me from friends and family for birthday, Christmas, whatever. But a lot of these things are super old. Others are somewhat new. Obviously the books and a bunch of audio books. And then one year we took the grandkids to the Fifth Third Ballpark Star Wars Day, and they got a picture with Kylo Ren, which they thought was pretty cool. And then down here I have actual videotapes, VHS tapes of the Star Wars movies, some of them, not all of them, obviously, but then video games and CDs, all the soundtracks. popcorn buckets, pop cans that had the characters on them. All these books down below, all these little notebooks, those are full of Star Wars cards. I don't have, in that one right there is Rogue One cards, and then on top here are Solo cards. What I'm wanting to do is get maybe one or two big notebooks and then put them all in there in order based on when the movies, the chronological order that the movies took place. But this is not even remotely close to what I have, my collection. This isn't even close. This room was literally full of totes that are full of Star Wars stuff. From the action figures to the 12-inch dolls, which there are some 12-inch dolls in here. But I don't know where to put them or how to display them properly, because some of them have actual hair, kind of like Barbie hair. And those that that have those kind of dolls, if they're sitting around, and they also have fabric cloth. I mean, the like Darth Vader here, he's got clothy outfit, but he's mostly plastic. But those things collect a lot of dust, and I just don't want to ruin the figures or the whatever by a lot of dust collecting on them and what have you. But I don't know if you heard that. That was Jar Jar there. He, believe it or not, he's a plush toy, but he's also a clock. He will tell you the time. Right now the time is off. I don't remember how to set the time, but if you push on his hand here,
we did it! Hooray! This is lovely. Time is after 8 a.m.
see, he tells the time. He came with a droid that also showed the time, but I also have, like, these Yodas are interactive.
Meditating I have been, at one with the Force am I.
That Yoda will tell you stories.
Shall I tell you a story of Leia and a New Hope?
And then he'll also quiz you on things and things like that. But most of these things don't do anything.
Mindful of your feelings, fear, anger, hate, all are paths to the dark side.
So that is just part of the room, obviously. I mean, you guys seen a little bit of this yesterday. These are awards that I received while I was in the military. This one obviously was in Germany. That one's in Germany. This one is one of my honorable discharge certificates. This was in Fort Stewart, so was that one. These certificates here are from all over. That one I got when I was in Korea. This here is my actual original dog tags that I had. And I got right in basic. I still have them to this day. I misplaced them some time ago when I was in the military, and I had to get new ones, and these were the new ones. So I actually have both sets of dog tags. In the military, I also collected a few coins that I received. This
Your mind, you are, or something else wish you to do.
This one is that I got from completing a school while in the military, PLDC, Primary Leadership Development Course. These were in Korea. That one was in Germany. That grenade is not real, the fuse used to be real. I took that off the top of a smoke grenade. It just unscrewed, and then I screwed it onto this fake body, and it looks real. I painted it, kind of make it look real, but I guarantee you it is not real at all. Let me turn this down. I don't know, but then we have that right there was what I carried a notebook in, and that has all the pins, all the unit crests that I was in. That one is Germany. That one was Fort Stewart. These two were the same. When I first got to Korea, it was 520 infantry. Then later it changed to 29 infantry. And then when I went back to Fort Stewart, I went into 464 armor. The 2nd Infantry Division was what these two were in when I was in Korea. The Red Diamond is 5th Infantry Division, and that's what my grandfather was in when he was in World War II. So, and then obviously, this is where I do all the computer work, editing our all these videos and everything. My headphones, I got a little charging station there for the headphones for when I go to work. And my brother gave me this about a year or so ago. I don't remember exactly when, but that kind of says something. My other car was a Bradley. So that's about it to this room, guys. There's really not much, but it's kind of cozy to me. I like it. This is the second time I've been able to display my Star Wars collection. There's no way. I think even if I had the living room, I couldn't display everything I had, or I have. There's just no way. No room on the walls, no room on the floor. There's just no way. There's too much stuff. Way too much stuff. So, but now comes the time where I tell you one of my Army stories. I asked on Facebook. I gave, let me see here. I wrote it down. I gave three options because I wanted you guys to pick a story instead of me just randomly picking one. And you guys had the choice of radio relay scare, wall locker punch, or sleeping bag bar. And it was a unanimous choice for the sleeping bag bar. So I'll tell you that one. This was back in Germany. We were not, enlisted people were not allowed to have any kind of alcohol whatsoever in the barracks. You couldn't have beer, wine coolers, hard liquor, nothing. If it had alcohol in it, you could not have it in the barracks. A lot of us disobeyed that rule. We snuck up a lot of stuff. So, and I was one of them. A lot of guys got caught and they got in trouble, and they paid for it, but I never got caught. What I did was I snuck up a bottle of Jim Beam? Yeah, Jim Beam. Like I said, I wasn't allowed to have it, and I had to find a hiding spot for it. So in my wall locker, it wasn't the cleanest wall locker that they like. I had a whole bunch of crap stuffed in the bottom, and one of the items, I somehow acquired another sleeping bag, and it was rolled up and it was stuffed in the middle of this big pile, and it was stacked. It wasn't just thrown in, but it was stacked in a way where I could pull that sleeping bag out without everything coming down on top in the open hole. So what I would do was, if a bunch of us guys, if we knew we were going downtown to the bars, I would go to only certain people. Not everybody knew that I had that bottle of booze because not everybody was super trustworthy, which is unfortunate, but it's true. So I would go to so-and-so's room and say, hey, when you're done with whatever you're doing, come over to my room. And then I'd go to another room. Hey, when you're done, come over to my room, and so on. And I would have like 3 or 4 guys come over. And when the last guy would come in, I'd tell him, hey, shut the door and lock it. And they'd shut the door and lock it. And I would open up my wall locker and I'd pull that sleeping bag out, put it on my bed and unroll it, reach down inside there and pull out that bottle of Jim Beam. And open up the top and bloop, 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 bloop. Passed it down the next side, bloop, 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 and so forth. Just to get our night started. Later on, the rule of no alcohol was lifted, but we still couldn't have whiskey or anything hard like that. We could have beer, but not whiskey. So I never got caught. I don't know how long that bottle lasted. It probably didn't last long. So that's my story. It's kind of funny. It's not the funniest, but it's the more I keep thinking of these stories. A lot of them are rotating around alcohol consumption, which, believe me, not all of them are, but as you will find out. But I think that's it for now. I'm going to try to get this out today so you guys can see it. So what I want you guys to do is stay alert, stay safe, to just pray, and I'll see you next time.